nice to see some different parents today. Glad we have two options going on. Well, I guess three options. Yeah, I think that was the fastest tuning of the day. It's like I did it twice already. Okay. Really good. All right, so they're finishing up rosining, getting things ready. I see some people that are in rest position, so you'll see them holding it under their arm with a nice shelf so it doesn't fall. Okay, this is a safe way to hold the violin when you're not playing. It also relaxes this hand, which gets a lot of work. So we're gonna get ready to go for you. We've got one more person rosining. Sometimes I'll let them practice during this time while other people are getting ready. So they can get ready for the day and play. So, but I kind of felt like if we should play a song for you and not listen to 23 people playing separate songs at the same time. So that's not really a realistic thing of what you might hear at home or at a concert. So, but we do hear it sometimes. So our first song is called Chicken on a Fence Post. We worked on our great posture, standing up tall, keeping our violin in the right spot. We spent weeks and weeks and weeks holding our bow a certain way so we could use all our fingers when we're playing. I told them this might happen, where something might happen when I need to wait for something. And then we want everybody to play together, so we might get to start over. Okay. It's a live performance, anything can happen. Here we go. Good. I don't know, we don't have a huge audience, but we've got a good audience. That's great. We're clapping. That's good. Okay. Hey, our next one's called Winter Time in Russia. So this is our chance to play, get a really good sound. So you'll hear this one twice. We'll play it all together, and then everybody will get a solo. Again, but we're going to give everybody a turn. They've been working on their good sound at least 24 times. We're going to go down the row. Let's do the piano. someone was back there thinking thought they were fake playing. They're not. They're really going for it. They all sound good. All right. Our next one's called the Old Brass Wagon. So before we could do this one, we had to talk about how violin players don't hold up their violin with their hands. They balance it. So they're going to show us our step 6 and practice balancing our instrument first before we start. Because we found out that violins are very lightweight. They're very thin wood. And if you keep them on top of your shoulder and then you use that big 3rd grade head to just kind of rest on the chin rest, then you really don't need a lot of effort in just kind of balancing and freezing it and figuring it out. And sometimes it takes a little more time to get it balanced, or it feels uncomfortable at first, but just about all of them can balance it by the end of the year, so we can free up that hand to play more than just 4 notes, because they only have 4 strings without putting the fingers down. You can't do that. So this frees up their fingers to put down. Also, when they get a little more advanced, they'll be able to play those notes up high, which you can't play while holding the instrument up. Also, if you go to the symphony, you see those violin players playing really fast and moving their fingers really quickly, and you can't really do that while holding up a violin at the same time. Oh, and then to make the violin sound very beautiful, we have this thing called vibrato, where we wiggle our fingers, and we do need to have our hand free to be able to relax and wiggle it to make that really beautiful singing sound later. All right, this one's our Old Brass Wagon. So we're sailing out to sea, getting our fingers ready. They climbed up a ladder to pick up banana, and then once it got to the top and got the banana, it went all the way back down the ladder and finally ate the banana. It was a pink one, yeah. Someone always corrects me if I don't say pink banana, so thank you for doing that. Okay, so if you are into music, you'll notice that it goes up in pitch when we go add fingers. We go up the ladder, and then we go down in pitch when we go down the ladder, all on small tiny steps, which is called scale. So if you have played an instrument before, you know that teachers will tell you to play scales over and over again. So you'll hear this one for the next at least 3 years or so, as long as they're at Claymont. Oh, okay. I told them they could sit down around this time. So. They're not just standing, they're also singing a song in their head. They're using both hands. They're using all their fingers, so fine motor and gross motor, and they're singing a song in your head while trying to recreate that sound on the instrument, having some feedback. Mine doesn't sound this way, I'm going to fix it really quickly while doing it at the same time with 20 other people. So it is a lot of brain activity playing an instrument. It's best done in short segments like this, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and that kind of thing, where and then you come back to it and you really develop that skill that way. Long stepwise process over a long period of time. This is where they usually sit down, and I tell them it's not a brain break, but they're resting their body, they're resting their hands and their fingers in their laps, and they usually look up here. Some people ask me questions. Sometimes I tell them about a new song. Sometimes we figure out how to make that last song sound better. Sometimes we talk about how to fix things. Sometimes I talk about the open house that's coming up where parents are going to come watch us and there's going to be cameras so they're not surprised. Okay. But when I do have parents here, I like to mention at least 3 things. The first thing I like to mention is this is our last open house. We had lots of parents on Monday. We have more here on Wednesday. So thank you for all that coming. And don't they sound great? Another round of applause for them. Second thing I always like to talk about is they're going to continue playing the violin the rest of the year. Our violins come in different sizes, so small violin, large violin. So we do fit them to size them, their instrument to fit them. So too big is usually too much, cause a lot of frustration. Too small is sometimes okay for a while, and then we move up when we're ready. They are going to be playing these violins the rest of the year. They do a concert in March, on March 14th. I wrote it down over here, so that's where I go over and look at it and make sure I can see you guys and say. It also says violin and recorder, so they have those recorders, those plastic white things, and they are bringing them home sometimes, and they also have them on school on music days, and they're going to be playing recorders with Mr. Hawkins and learning how to read music on the music staff, as well as some songs on the recorder, and then they're going to play that for you on that March 12th concert. It's in the cafeteria next door, so it's a little bigger venue, because we do have, I split this up into 2 days, so I had enough space for all you guys. If we all Monday and Wednesday crowd came on the same day, we'd be standing next to kids while they're playing. We do put it in the cafeteria on this one, and it's a little bigger concert. Siblings can come that are in school and watch their younger sibling or older sibling and reflect, oh, I remember playing that, or oh, I get to do that in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, so that's an event that comes up this year. After the March concert, around April, I start sending information about 4th grade strings, and there's a lot of things that change about that. First thing, these violins stay here, they get put on the shelf, and then the 2nd graders that are going to be coming next year will be playing them. So I'm lucky enough to have a class set that they can play. All right, still looking for hands and laps over here. Thank you. All right, but then if they're doing 4th grade strings, 4th graders go to the music store. They get sized for the right size instrument, rent an instrument usually until they're full size, and then that's their instrument that they carry to and from school on string days. I see a lot of instruments over here and a lot of instruments over here. These are 4th and 5th graders that brought instruments for strings today. They brought them in my room, put them on the rack, and then once these instruments get put away, they'll get them off the rack and they'll unpack them and play them, and then after class they'll pack them back up, take them back to their classroom, and then they'll take them home at the end of the day. That means they'll have their instrument at home 7 days a week. They can get it out, they can play beautiful music for you anytime, and then they can play it for family members, they can play it for pets, they can take it to big family gatherings and perform for grandma and grandpa and everybody else. And like my mom used to make me do, and then they'll get really good at their instrument by practicing it frequently. So this is something that happens in 4th and 5th grade orchestra. The next thing that happens is they can play the violin. Violin's an awesome instrument, really important part of the orchestra. They can also switch to 3 other instruments in 4th or 5th grade. They can play something called a viola, which is going to be a little thicker. It's probably going to be a little longer when they get to full size. It's not going to have this high-pitched E string, which some students don't like the higher sound, but it is going to have a lower string down there instead. So if you want a lower pitched instrument, still want to play it like the violin, usually the middle of the orchestra holds everything together. Viola is what you pick. They do have a thing called a cello. This is a student-sized cello. So if you notice that I have about a dozen of them over there of people that put this big heavy thing on their back. Some of them even put it on the bus and were very careful with it because it came in bags, and then they brought it to school with their backpack on too. You might have seen a 4th or 5th grader with a cello on their back and a backpack on their front walking to or from school in the morning. So a big commitment when you're playing the cello. You're committing to carrying it for 2 years, up to 2 years or more, and then you're also committing to well, you love it that much that you're going to carry it around. All right. I always need to talk to parents who decide that they want to play the bass because there's some things that go along with the bass. This is the smallest bass I have. I'm about 5'8", so it's about my height. Okay, and this would be a 4th or 5th grade bass player, so they'd be more like this playing on it. All right, it is a larger instrument, so the 4th graders do need help usually carrying it around. It's also going to take up this much space in your car, living room, bedroom, whatever, wherever they have it at home. Let's go 7 nights a week, okay? And then remember they do rent instruments, so this one's probably going to cost a little more than a small violin just because of the amount of wood and time that goes into tuning and strings and things like that. So there is a difference in those kind of things. So you saw it here when they come home in April saying, I want to play the bass, and then you can make a family decision. And parents are in charge of that. Okay. Hey, we're going to play some more music for you. Our next one's called the Train Song. It's called the Train Song because it's about a train. All these songs are supposed to teach something. This one's supposed to teach circles. So you can watch everybody do not down only, not up only, but they can also circle at the right time. Circle at the right time. Something that. Some people say, oh, I like the violin, I love classical music, or I don't want to play the violin, I don't like classical music. Well, you get to play classical music, but you can also play every other music that was written after that. So this is a blues tune, we always do a fiddle tune, we usually always do a rock tune. Sometimes people get good at the instrument, and because they're memorizing songs and singing them in their head, they'll listen to songs on the radio and figure them out too. So I hear lots of 5th graders playing Baby Shark right now. Because they figured it out and taught all their friends. But every year it's a different song. Last year it was like Despacito, and then the year, like 5 years ago, it was Let It Go. Everybody was playing all the time. So this is our blues. This is our blues. Always practice that bell a lot, just in case people keep clapping, you never know. Okay, hey, they do something real special at the end before they go to specials. They put the instruments away, so they're loosening their bows, they take their sponge off, they tuck their violin in for the night and close it up, and they're really good at putting it on the rack over there so that the fourth graders can come in 5 minutes and get their instruments and chairs and stands out later. Hey, parents, if you see somebody you know, you're welcome to tell them good job or give them a high five or a hug. And good day to you while they do this. They're really fast at this. They put the instruments away at 1 minute and 8 seconds. They're getting really quick. I'm not going to time it today. Wait until next. Bang it a little too loose, tighten it a little bit. Keep going, man. Tighter, 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 tighter.
Yeah, because the other person is right here on the left.